when to hold, when to run like hell, even short. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. You don't have to be a seasoned investor to benefit from Phil's Gang and platform. No matter what level investor you are, my strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for the 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Avoid market pitfalls and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG. Try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Our team is comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. Phil's Gang has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. You don't need to be a seasoned investor to benefit from the Phil's Gang platform, no matter what level of investor you are. Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action, avoid market pitfalls, and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy. Is your business prepared to respond to any emergency in the workplace? Well, you better be. Let over 30 years of law enforcement experience go to work for you. Boyd Investigative Group is here for all your business security needs. I know. I use them. They're terrific. Call today for your free confidential consultation. 941-724-4535. That's 941-724-4535. Or visit them on the website, BoydInvestigativegroup.com.
License number A1900020.
If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, just listen to Phil Grandy.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. There's many reasons to listen to a radio show, but I think to listen to my show, you get the truth, you get clarity, and you get great information.
No matter what level of investor you are, Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success.
You know what? Most of all, it's fun. philsgang.com. Clarity, good information, and fun.
Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com.
What, are you nuts? Coffee's up 92%, lumber's up 67%, heating oil, what, 60%, gasoline 55%. I understand why you guys are telling me to raise my rates here at Phil's Gang, but we haven't raised our rates since 2001. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I'm not going to raise my rates. Our membership's been $39.95 since 2001, and for a good reason. So that you have enough room that when you do make money here at Phil's Gang, and you will, because you're going to learn how to short stocks, that there's enough room to send some money to St. Jude. That's why we never raised our price. And that's why we give you good value. So, you want to continue with good value, good information, be on the right side of the market? Join my gang, philsgang.com, where the price has not moved, where we fight inflation. philsgang.com.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
During the Obama-Biden administration, we put in place tough requirements on banks like Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank, including the Dodd-Frank law to make sure that the crisis we saw in 2008 would not happen again. Unfortunately, the last administration rolled back some of these requirements. I'm going to ask Congress and the banking regulators to strengthen the rules for banks to make it less likely this kind of bank failure would happen again.
Are you kidding me? They're trying to shift everything away from Biden. This is amazing. And now all of a sudden it's Trump. It's regulations. None of that is true. Here we go again. Biden, rotten to the core. There's no moral sense about the truth. None. He's now shifting the banking crisis onto everybody else. Oh, now we're going to do regulations that'll fix it. If we had these stress tests, that would fix it. It's all a lie. The stress tests of these banks are canned. You do a stress test each year, but they don't do the stress test. They don't match the stress test of these banks to what is going on. They do the same stress test. How would the bank hold up against a declining economic GDP? How would a bank hold up against increased unemployment? Defaults on commercial real estate. Each year, they pass with flying colors. What good were those questions? You know, I get so angry and they say, well, if Trump didn't change these stress tests, this wouldn't have happened. That's a bull-faced lie. Look, the stress test, even if they did the right stress test, they should have been testing for what's facing us now. Do a stress test on these banks in 2020. How about the one in 2022? When they did the stress test in 2022, why didn't they do the stress tests on these banks up against what was going on. I mean, we had terrible inflation. Biden's 40-year high inflation, in fact. High interest rates. And here's the big one. We had a declining value in government bonds. Remember how all this started, how the crash started. The crash started in 2014. Went from 2008 to 2014, the banks were losing money because of zero interest rates. They weren't making much money on the spread of their mortgages. And then, remember, 2014 is when they had the meeting with the Senate and banking committees and telling them we can't make any money with these spreads. So the idea, well, why don't you buy the 10-year treasuries? Because they said, well, if we buy the 2-year treasury, we'll never make any money. The spread's too low. Well, buy the 10-year treasury. You'll be just fine. What? Until you start raising rates to fight inflation. They knew the inflation was getting out of hand between 2008 and 2014. In fact, in 2015 is when they started to raise rates the first time. Like, 7 years? The first time they started to raise rates was 2015. Yellen did that 3 times. So they knew there was inflation, so they knew that these yields that they're getting on a 10-year treasury were very skinny, and the minute they started to raise rates from 0 to 5%, they're in trouble. But wait a minute, but nobody did a stress test. Don't you think somebody, in 2014 they were talking about it. The whole Senate banking knew about it. Elizabeth Warren knew about it. Now she's out there, oh, I was so surprised. We need regulations. What? See, these were canned stress tests. Canned stress tests. We had the same stress test all the time. Same stupid questions. Wouldn't it be nice if they did a stress test with what's really going on? What's really going on? Imagine if they did a stress test for the bank. They said, how are you going to handle the 40-year high inflation, the high interest rates, the declining value in your government bonds? What are you, nuts? They didn't care. Nobody cared. They just want to pass the blame on. Now, this is interesting. What are they going to pass on as blame here? What's going on? Oh, I see. Okay, so after the 2008 crash, they bring on the 2 guys, Frank and Dodd, who caused the crash. Who caused the crash? Not to be experts. Those are the guys who caused it. So, of course, they're going to shift the blame to everybody else except themselves. And in 2008, that's when they said, okay, we got to have these stress tests. So any bank 50 that had assets, $50 billion or more, you had to have a stress test. Well, wait a minute. Are you kidding me? That's a killer. That's a killer. If stress tests are very expensive, stress tests very time consuming. And if you're JP Morgan and you have assets of $200 billion, it's no problem for a $200 billion bank going through a stress test. But take a $50 billion bank going through a stress test, it really screws things up. Or take JP Morgan, has total assets of $3.6 trillion. And then let's take a small bank with assets of $50 billion. Okay, so now we got $50 billion against $3.6 trillion. The bank with $3.6 trillion assets, JP Morgan, they can hire Ernst & Young, who specialize in preparing for stress tests. And when they come in, and they go through all your books, and you don't even know anything's going on. They take half of your building, and they're I know I went through it, and you don't even know what's going on. Very expensive. But you take a bank that's not a $3.6 trillion bank like JP Morgan, which are a $50 billion bank in that total assets. You disrupt your bank for 3 months. Matter of fact, you're disrupting your bank so much that you hardly do business. You can't even service your accounts. I mean, it's unbelievable. I've been through one of these. It's unbelievable. You got people all over the place. I mean, a small bank has to do it itself. It destroys their business. Trump knew this. In fact, when they passed when they finally said, no, we're going to move the threshold back up to $200 billion because you're killing these small banks. You're killing them. You're going to put them out of business. They can't afford this. Not just the money. They can't afford the downtime. Customers coming in, they ask, oh, Jim, sorry, we can't. Can you come back next Wednesday? We'll talk about your business loan because I'm tied up with a stress test. And there's J.P. Morgan down the street with $3.6 trillion in assets. Got a staff of 52 people. No problem. Just write a check to them. So they're trying to make it sound like this was all Trump's fault. No, it's not. No, it wasn't Trump's fault. You know what the fault was? It's Biden's fault. The biggest contribution he had to this all this mess that's going on right now with the banks defaulting is 40-year high inflation. He created the 40-year high inflation, for God's sakes. And then he goes and Biden does the American Rescue Plan and does all these other, and he does the other plans. And that costs money. We don't have it. That becomes a deficit. And deficits kill you. And that's what's happening to us. So when he did the Omnibus Bill, the American Rescue Plan, the inflation plan, he had no money for that. We increased our deficits. Killed us.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Phil Grandy has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free. If anything, during that 10-day period, you're going to learn how the market really works. You're going to find information that you never had before. You're going to walk away and go, I didn't know that. So join my gang for 10 days free, philsgang.com. And you're also going to learn how to make money when the market goes down. It's kind of silly just sitting there when the market going down, hoping. Why hope when you can sell short and make money? Either way, you make money when the market goes up, you make money when the market goes down. That's the benefit of Phil's Gang. You make money.
Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level.
philsgang.com. Sign up free for 10 days.
When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy. Is your business prepared to respond to any emergency in the workplace? Well, you better be. Let over 30 years of law enforcement experience go to work for you. Boyd Investigative Group is here for all your business security needs. I know. I use them. They're terrific. Call today for your free confidential consultation. 941-724-4535. That's 941-724-4535. Or visit them on the website, BoydInvestigativeGroup.com.
License number A1900020.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here. And it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
Easter eggs can be hidden treasures that are fun to discover by chance. But finding financial Easter eggs in the stock market takes experience. Secure your future with smart financial guidance from Phil Grandy. Now is the perfect time to have peace of mind when investing at philsgang.com.
We give you the truth, the direction, and that's what you need. Listen to me on my radio show each day and also on my Rumble and YouTube channel podcast. philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG. Try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. So don't fall for this nonsense that everything that's happening that's bad right now to these banks. And this is all, even if you hate Trump, you got to be at least be a little bit independent thinking and just think about it for a moment. You can't go in and say, I am going to do all these socialist programs and I'm not going to pay for them. I don't have any money to pay for these socialist programs. American Rescue Plan. That was a killer. Inflation Reduction Plan. That's ridiculous. That didn't have any. Where's the reduction in inflation on that one? So when you have the American Rescue Plan, and then you have the Inflation Reduction Plan. Now think about this: the American Rescue Plan was one of the biggest socialist plans. We had no money. We have no money, and when Congress is not willing to cut expenses, for God's sake, they won't even cut expenses, and then the president says, oh, I'm going to still spend money. I'm going to take care of the Democratic Socialists of America. By the way, that's a party. Do you know that? The Democratic Socialists of America. That's a party, just like there's a real Green Party. There's also another socialist party called Working Family Party. Now, the Democratic Socialists of America, which is a real party, AOC belongs to that. Bernie Sanders belongs to that. Cory Bush, I'll give you a whole list of our Congress. About half of these Democrats belong to this Democrat Socialists of America party. And so he's trying to take care of them because they're the ones who put him in office. He needs their votes. But we can't afford what they ask. So every one of these, I mean, you take the omnibus bill. That was insane. That was one of the biggest socialist bills ever. I mean, everything in that. All that has to do with socialism. And by the way, $410 million of that bill, which we have to borrow, remember, we don't have it, we're broke, went towards security for the border of Jordan, Lebanon, and Egypt. So we had to go borrow from China $410 million to secure the border of Jordan and Egypt and Lebanon. This is what our president did. $410 million. We don't have that. We're broke. At the end of the year, we're $1.2 trillion in the hole. Our book at the end of the year has brackets around it. 1.2 trillion. No problem. We'll just print the money, and then we'll print the money, and we'll also borrow the money. And remember what happened, what caused this market to crash. When we keep paying high interest rates, remember when we go to these auctions, China wants more money. So China, they're not nice people. They don't give us money unless they get a good interest rate. And when the higher interest rates started to decline the value of those bonds the banks were buying, because they discovered in 2014 they weren't making much money. So that's when they started unbelievable, the amount of 10-year treasuries with these two little yields that just do a 50-point interest increase. The Federal Reserve, the short-term Fed rate, you're screwed. You're in a hole. That's what happened. So think about that. So we're sitting there, and we got our deficits are going up, our debt's going up, causing inflation to go up, interest rates go up, our economy slows down, nobody cares. Now our interest on our national debt is almost $500 billion. We have to borrow the $500 billion to pay the interest. We got to borrow interest to pay our interest. You imagine that? So this bank stress test has nothing about that. See, all of that that Biden was doing, and his Democrat Socialists of America, because remember, it's the Democrat Socialists of America that runs the Democratic Party now. This is no longer my father's Democratic Party or grandfather. So all these things they're doing with that Inflation Reduction Act, Omnibus Bill, this is all social programs. And we're doing all this by borrowing the money. And when we keep borrowing all this money, we have a problem. Interest rates go up. And then the value of all those bonds the banks bought are going down. Now all of a sudden they're not making any money. Where was the stress test on that? Why didn't they have a stress test that says, how is your bank going to do against Joe Biden going out with the Omnibus Bill, Inflation Reduction Act, the American Rescue Plan, borrowing all the money? We got to pay interest on that money. And all that interest on that money that we're borrowing from China is declining the value in the 10-year treasuries that you're buying, trying to make a little bit of money. And then inflation goes up because of it. To fight the inflation, now the Fed's short-term rates have to go up. So from 0, they go to 5%. Why was this? See, if we had a stress test like that, let's test the banks again. But see, they're not going to do that. They use the same things every year to hide this from us. How's your bank going to do against declining GDP, increased unemployment, defaults on commercial real estate? Instead of saying, how's your bank going to do when you're trying to make money by buying 10-year treasuries, and because Biden's doing all these crazy socialist programs, because we're broke and we have to borrow the money, that means our deficits are going up, interest rates are going up. How's your bank going to do against that? And they would have said, we'd go broke. Now we got a real stress test. But they don't do that. And even now, they're all saying, oh, it's fine now. All this banking, there's no more banking crisis. They never even called it a banking crisis. Join my gang, Phil's gang, and you'll be on the right side of the trades. I'll be right back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I get so tired of listening to the same garbage every day, listening to the fake business news network telling you why you should buy this stock, why you should buy, and they're always wrong. Join my gang, philsgang.com. free for 10 days. You're going to learn when to buy a stock and when not to buy a stock. Hey, years ago it was different. You could buy a stock based on fundamentals. You could buy a stock based on earnings. You could buy a stock based on PE ratios. Those days are gone. That ended with QE. That ended when they financially engineered the market in 2008. Gone. Now you got to follow the money. And we have the knowledge because we have the chart. Pro 2 color code chart tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to run like hell.
For a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Get the truth, get the knowledge, and understand how the market really works.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on Earth. I know this, but it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on Earth. I know this, but it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. You know, it's amazing to think about it. During COVID, they printed all this money, about $5 trillion. So they told everybody to go home, and they sent everybody about $5 trillion and said, go spend it. Now, let's just think about this for a minute. So now everybody's at home, they're not working, and they start consuming. But because everybody's at home, nobody's in the factory replacing what they consumed. So all of a sudden you end up with all this money that was printed, all inflationary, and then you got all this demand, but we can't fill the demand. That's one of the worst inflationary things you ever heard of. And let me ask you, when somebody's sitting around the big table in the cabinet room, and Biden's sitting there, and you got all these people around, blinky with their eyes going up and down, and all these dopes, are they that stupid that no one ever said, wait a minute, what are the consequences of us? First, we're broke. At the end of each year, we got brackets in our checking account, 1.2 trillion. We have no money. And all we keep doing is printing money, which means the value of our money is going down. And so we have to keep printing more money. That's more inflation. But what will happen if we give these people $5 trillion and everybody's at home and nobody's at work? And now we got this massive demand, and we can't fill the demand. Would prices go up? Do you think anybody asked that question? Are they that stupid? I mean, they got some pretty stupid people in that cabinet room. I mean, Buttigieg, he never owned a business. He never ran a business. He never met a payroll. You think that would come across his mind? How about the, what the hell's her name? It's the head of the energy department. Oh, gosh. She was a governor. Can't think of her name right now. Governor of Michigan. Isn't she smart enough? How did she become governor? Isn't she smart enough? I mean, anybody, a high school kid would sit there and raise their hand and say, wait a minute. Jennifer Granholm. And she's such an idiot. By the way, she's on her 5th or 6th trip to Puerto Rico, says she's on business looking at oil. On our dollar, private jet. So she's not so dumb, is she? She knows Biden doesn't fire anybody. But that just drives me nuts, that there's nobody around that whole conference table. I mean, even that character from Vermont, the communist, what's his name? Bernie Sanders. I would think, now he's pretty good numbers, you would think he'd raise his hand and say, God, if we're printing $5 trillion, giving it to all these people, we're boring printing, what? And they're spending, but nobody's working. That means we got more demand. We got all this demand, but we have nobody produced. That's really high inflation. Should we do this? Now, nobody asked that question. Nobody asked that question. And what about the debt? Did anybody say, what about the debt? What's going to happen with all this debt? What's going to happen with the debt? How's that going to affect us? And is this helicopter money? Or is this productive debt? I mean, you only have two kinds of debt. One is productive and one's helicopter. And this was all helicopter money. My God. I mean, just think about it for a moment. You're sending $3 million to build an LGBTQ museum. You're spending $3.6 million for Obama hiking trail, $200 million for the Gender Equity and Equality Action Fund, and $410 million to make sure they secure the borders of Jordan, Lebanon, and Egypt. Now, when you're sitting around that conference table, wouldn't somebody say, wait a minute? And then we're sending all this money for child tax credits, and is this productive money or is this helicopter money? Wouldn't somebody raise their hand? Well, this is all helicopter money. It's non-productive. We don't. It doesn't produce anything for us. Our economy doesn't grow, and our economy's not growing. So shouldn't we take our money? If we're going to have debt, shouldn't we have productive debt? Have our debt to GDP ratio? Let's get it under 106. Let's get it back to 60. So every time we borrow $1 and spend $1, we get our investment back. Now we don't get it back. No, nobody did that. So what do? The hell with them all. Let's just make money. This is the situation. It's the easy way. It's so easy. You know what they're going to do. We know inflation's going to keep going up. You know the market's going to continue to crash. You know the banks are in deep trouble. So here's what I said to my gang this morning. I said, you know what? We've been making real good money. And we're going to continue. Because what we're going to do is let's just stay with the stocks that we've been in, the groups we've been in. Our metals. Now, we're doing terrific with our metals. A lot of our gold stocks are up 20%, 15%, 30%. And I said, I want to continue to stay with metals. I want to stay with our energy stocks. I want to stay with our big tech stocks, our semis, and we'll stay with the banks. And let's just stay with those groups. Why? Why did I say that? Because you know exactly what to buy. All you got to do is watch your bond yields. If your bond yields are going down in any given day, 2 or 3 days, hope you get 2-3 days down, then you know that you know that even if it's temporary, you know your gold stocks are going to go up. You know that's going to happen right out of the gate, right? And then you know your oil stocks are going to go up like BKR or COP. And you know your tech stocks are going to go up. Your semis are going to go up. So every time they rig the yields to go down, we'll keep watching the yields. And when they go down, these stocks will go up. Whether they're going up for 1 day, 2 days, 5 days, doesn't matter. We know they're going up. And then when they switch around, and this is all they've been doing every day, they keep switching. Now they shift over and say, well, let's now take the profits on big tech, energy, and metals. Like I told my members today, I said, sell into this rally, sell into this rally. Now I said, we'll switch back to the banks when we see yields going up. So it's pretty easy. You're going to identify very quickly. There's only two things you have to do. Watch the yields. If they go up, you just buy the banks. Never mind buying Johnson & Johnson. Never mind buying the big box stores. Don't even focus on those. Focus where most of the money goes. Banks. So we'll buy them on the way up and we'll short them on the way down. And if we do this for the next couple of months, we're going to make a lot of money. But let's just stay with those groups. And we'll react when we get a buy signal and a sell signal from our color-coded chart. Let's be myopic. There's 11 groups out there in the market. We don't need the 11. Let's just do the groups where most of the big institutional money's going right now. A lot of money's going to the metals. Energy, money's coming back into energy because, again, remember, every time these yields start going down, okay, and boy, are they going to go down. Why? Because the dollar's going to get crushed. And all you got to do is follow the dollar. If the dollar's going down, you know your yields are going down. And the dollar is going to get smoked. So all you have to do, watch the dollar. Dollar going down, yields going down. Dollar going up, yields going up. So if yields are down, you buy energy, you buy metals, you buy big tech. If the yields start going up, we'll just start buying the banks. And then we reverse and short them. Join my gang, for God's sakes. It's like shooting fish in a barrel right now.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Good investing means understanding how the stock market works.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, if you really want to make sense of this market, you can't be listening to the fake Business News Network. They will not tell you the truth. They're to get you excited, to make sure you go out and you're happy so you'll buy something. That's not what we do here at Phil's Gang. We give you the truth, the direction, and that's what you need. Listen to me on my radio show each day and also on my Rumble and YouTube channel podcast. philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Easter eggs can be hidden treasures that are fun to discover by chance. But finding financial Easter eggs in the stock market takes experience. Secure your future with smart financial guidance from Phil Grandy. Now is the perfect time to have peace of mind when investing at philsgang.com.
We give you the truth, the direction, and that's what you need. Listen to me on my radio show each day and also on my Rumble and YouTube channel podcast. philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on Earth. I know this, but it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
philsgang.com.
For many around the U.S., the weather is about to change. Longer days and warmer weather. Just as you prepare for weather changes, you need to be prepared for the changes in the market. And Phil Grandy is your daily guide for when you need to buy or sell and maximize your earnings. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Avoid market pitfalls and navigate the market with confidence with Phil Grandy at philsgang.com.
What are you, nuts? Coffee's up 92%. Lumber's up 67%. Heating oil, what, 60%? Gasoline, 55%. I understand why you guys are telling me to raise my rates here at Phil's Gang, but we haven't raised our rates since 2001. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I'm not going to raise my rates. Our membership's been $39.95 since 2001, and for a good reason. So that you have enough room that when you do make money here at Phil's Gang, and you will, because you're going to learn how to short stocks, that there's enough room to send some money to St. Jude. That's why we never raised our price. And that's why we give you good value. So, you want to continue with good value, good information, be on the right side of the market? Join my gang, philsgang.com, where the price has not moved, where we fight inflation. philsgang.com. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Join my gang. Go to philsgang.com. It says get started. Now, for 10 days, it doesn't cost you a thing. And all I ask is during those 10 days, you're going to learn. Believe me, if you don't stay with us after 10 days, you're going to have an arsenal of tools. It didn't cost you a penny. All I ask, if you use those tools, start making money, you didn't stay with us, please just send a little money to St. Jude. I think that's a fair deal, don't you? So, The problem that's in front of us right now is that there's no way of fixing this. Some things you can't fix. See, because they kept interest rates too low for too long. And when you keep those interest rates too low for too long, 13 years, you can't fix it by taking short-term rates from 0 to 5%. You can't fix it. It's not fixable. Even if you take those interest rates to 10%, you're not going to be able to fix the problem they created because they kept these interest rates too low for too long. The inflation is incredible. Real inflation is probably about 15, 16% real inflation. That's the real inflation number. And these banks, they're going to screw things up even worse. Powell screwed things up even worse. You watch what he does. They're going to try to take all these banks now, the little banks, he's going to crush them. And he's going to try to get all these little banks tied in with the big banks. He's going to try to eliminate all these small banks. I've seen him do it before. He's going to do it again. So here's what you should do. If you join our gang for 10 days, you're going to be following our group, which is real simple. Okay? We're going to be staying with the same metal stocks, gold stocks, AU, GDX. Those are our major gold stocks. Energy, COP, BKR. You're going to be staying with our tech stocks, Qs, Apple, Microsoft. That's all you need. Semis, NVIDIA, MU. Now, those stocks right there, if all you did was Apple and the Qs for big tech, that's all you need. That's all you need. And for tech, you don't need any more than that. And just do COP for oil. That's all. And when you get those buy signals, and what I'm talking about is the buy signals on my chart, but more than that, when yields rise, okay, or interest rates rise, bond prices are going to fall. So yields rise, interest rates rise. So when yields are rising, and you can see right on your chart, automatically those yields are going to go up. Make sure you're watching the banks, because the banks benefit. But the problem with the banks, they're broke. I mean, they're really bad shape, okay? People have no idea how the banking situation is in this country. They really masked it. But for investment purposes, just do trades. We do two kinds of trades. Swing trades, which are in for anywhere from 2 to 5 days. And we do position trades that were in 2 to 5 months. But the key is to understand the reaction when yields rise, when yields drop. What are you supposed to be doing? Which stocks are you supposed to be in? And we can teach that the first couple of days. You're going to know that. You're going to know that. And like the dollar. Follow your dollar every morning. Look at UUP. And just remember, if the dollar's going down, yields always follow. And when yields are going down, pretty simple. What do we buy? Make sure you look at your a few tech stocks. Go through a couple tech stocks, a couple gold stocks, a couple oil stocks. We like oil service stocks. So when you see those yields starting to drop, we know exactly which stock group to go to. And we stay with those same 3 groups, 4 groups. You can't help to make money. And then you're going to learn how to sell it short. So when everything reverses, you're going to make money. You know, investing in stocks, they make it more difficult than it really is. See, Wall Street and Fake Business News Network, these people, they don't want you to understand the bond market. They make it so confusing, you don't even want to understand it. Most people have no idea. What happens if you sell a bond? If there's a lot of bond selling, what happens? Yields are going to go up. So what do? You buy stocks that benefit with yields going up. Now people are scared. So what are they doing? Well, we're seeing something strange going on here. Before, we saw a lot of people run into the bond market. Buy bonds, buy bonds. And what would happen? the yield would go down, dollar would go down. So you buy stocks that are favorable to that, like gold. It's a good, or buy Apple if you want. So you can make it very, very easy. When you listen to these guys, what they say, they're insane. Listen, they're nothing but liars. Listen to this.
Pause and put, both related to the Fed, because it sounds like Ed thinks both of those are back. They're going to pause, and the Fed put exists. If something happens, they're going to come riding to the rescue, as they always seem to do. What's wrong with that view?
What's wrong with that view? Well, we got a few problems. If they want to come riding to the rescue, they can't. They can't come riding to the rescue. What are they going to do, print more money? What are you kidding me? What are you, nuts? Coming to the rescue. Everybody thinks they're going to bail out the stock market. I was looking at the VIX index, the fear meter. It was heading towards 30. Once it hits 40, it usually goes up big time. Fear goes in, you go straight up to 70, 80, just like we did in 2008, like we did in 2020. It was up to about 35, and also it's dropping. There's no more fear. Because every time you turn on TV and you listen to one of these dopes, everything's fine. The crisis is over. How can the crisis be over? Inflation is so huge. And the deficits kill you. You just can't get rid of deficits. See, the problem is they won't cut expenses to get rid of deficits. They won't cut expenses. That's the only thing. They'll keep raising the debt ceiling instead of cutting. So deficits grow. Deficits grow. And so you get to the point your dollar's worth nothing. You're going to the grocery store now, right? And look what you get for $100. Compare what you got for $100 5 years ago. Makes you cry. But the only way that you can beat them is just have a little understanding how the market works. The market's sitting right there. And you can put that computer on and you can make money anytime you want, as long as you know the game, as long as you understand what these gangsters are doing. And they're not doing anything good. People think they're going to buy a stock and be invested and make a lot of money. Good luck with that. For that to happen, we got to have a recession. But they won't allow a recession. Because why? The banks won't allow it. Who controls the banks? The very, very wealthy. The top 1/100th of 1%. I'm not talking the 10%. I'm not talking about the 1%. I'm talking about the 1/100th of 1%. They control the banks. Why do you think we didn't have a recession in 2008, 2009? They didn't want one. They replaced it with QE. QE is all fake. It's all fake. They created the biggest bubble ever. Now that bubble has popped. And I see these people jumping into the tech stocks saying, oh boy, tech. Listen to this guy here. Listen to this moron right here. Unbelievable. Let me see if I can get the damn thing to work.
And even though it sounds Twilight Zone, the new safety sector is tech.
Oh my God. Good luck. Look, just remember what I'm telling you. All you got to do, if you join our gang for 10 days, doesn't cost you a thing. You're going to understand when yields move, that's your bonds. When they rise, what do I do? When they drop, what do I do? In other words, what stocks should you be in? That's all. That's all. And once you understand it won't take long. Once you understand the bond market, and you understand that dictates what stocks you're going to be in, what stock group you're going to be making money consistently. But 95% of people who trade, they have no idea how the bond market works, so they're always on the wrong side. Join my gang, free for 10 days. Check it out.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me.